Mark, at U of T, you meet and work alongside a lot of young and talented people. What's your sense of the level of engagement in public policy and level of interest in it among these people?
I think one of the most exciting trends that I've been watching over the past few years that I've been involved with the School of Public Policy is that more and more young people graduating from their undergraduate degree are excited about going on to a life in public service, right? And when I say that, I think of it very broadly, public policy broadly defined to mean either government or NGOs or working abroad to help people or for think tanks or for politics. So that trend is really exciting because people are really engaged with this. I actually think the trend has been going on for a few years now, but certainly it got a huge bump with Obama's election in the United States, and then with the financial crisis, where there's been a rethink on many public policy issues that young people want to get involved in. So.
And also rethink about the viability of a Wall Street or Bay Street career.
Perhaps as well. But as I said, I think this was happening before that. But yeah, I think they see that Bay Street careers or Wall Street careers may be different than they were over the last 10 years, and some really exciting things that are going to relate to Wall Street or Bay Street are going to happen in public policy.
I wonder if they ever self-analyze to try to understand why they're different than in an era where there's a lot of disengagement among young people, university-age people in the political process. They don't vote as much as they used to and so on. Is there any common thread that unites these people in their pursuit of a role in this area?
They want to make a difference. And that is something that you see. That's why they're in this business or want to get into this business. And it's something you see in the ways they want to get into this business. They are not entirely comfortable with saying, I'm going to get into public policy and I'm going to put my time in for the next 15, 20 years, and then I'm going to be able to do something, right? And you laugh a little bit, but that was a traditional career 25, 30 years ago. They want to make a difference now. How can they be early influencers in policy changes that are important to them now? That's what they're saying.
So what are the lessons to be learned from people? I mean, you hear politicians talking about trying to, spark engagement and getting people more interested in not only politics, but in public life and national service. What are the lessons to learn from what you learned from these people?
To find ways to engage them quickly, right? That saying, think about the long term, this is a long-term process, is not, it's important, we have to think about the long term, but we need to also find ways to get youth engaged quickly. Having them get behind a political drive, and the Obama one is a great example, where they really feel like this is going to result in change, not 20 years from now, but now, right, seemed to work, right? One change was getting him elected. That was a big change. And I think that he will keep that engagement of young people and hit new records of voter turnout if over the first 4 years people actually see results, right? That he is going to be able to deliver on the things he said he was going to deliver on. That will be a different era for most of these young people who have seen leaders come and go, but the change waiting.
Now, apart from Obama, I'm curious to know what these people who are engaged and interested in making a difference make of the political process and the idea of working within it to make that difference.
So I think they see this as multifaceted. So there are a lot of young people, actually more than I thought when I started working in this area, who want to actually get involved in the political process by working with politicians and maybe running for office. And I think one reason for that is they see that as a way to quickly make a difference. But then there are lots of others who feel that either through government, the traditional way of doing this, becoming a public servant and doing it through government with the political office, but also, importantly, through a lot of other organizations that are touching government and the political process, whether those be lobby groups or activists, whether they be NGOs that are not necessarily activists but are helping people directly on the ground. They see this as part of the political process and a way to engage in it quickly.
I wonder then if there's a potential that we'll need, or people who are involved in this will need to change the way they recruit people to the public service, public policy, to reflect what you're talking about and to be a little more, mercenary is probably the wrong word, but a little more direct and in their appeal to these people.
I think we do need to think about how to change that. I think the appeal, one of the old appeals of government work, the exciting policy work was always there, but sometimes they would appeal to young people by saying, here's a lifetime job with a great pension, right? And young people, the ones I work with, that doesn't speak to them, right? And it probably shouldn't speak to them because probably by the time it's useful to them, it won't be around anyways, right? So they're not looking for how do I get into a job that I can stay in forever and that will take care of me when I'm 60. They're interested in making a difference now. Their colleagues who have worked outside of public policy, the people who work in the Googles of the world or things like that, have been able to do big things right away, and they want that too. Right? So I think recruiters need to pitch the aspects of their jobs that speak to how are you going to get involved in influencing change early on. How are you going to be a member of the team that's actually making a difference in the first year you're with us? And convincing these young people that they are going to be, if they're smart, they're going to make a difference. Right? If they're good at what they do, they're going to make a difference. And it's not going to take years and years in the service before they can actually get a chance to do what they need to do.
Yeah, but won't that really irritate the people who waited 10 or 15 years to make their difference?
It might. It might. I mean, I think that in a sense, we can't just skip over those people. You're exactly right. But there have to be new ways of engaging young people with those people. I mean, it's almost always the case that great ideas get even better when people work together on them. I mean, there's a literature on this. And so great ideas from people who've been waiting 10 years mixed with great ideas from the new generation might come up with some really great ideas. And that would be a great thing to do.